San Francisco 49ers general manager John Lynch went on KMBR today to give an update on Brandon Aiyuk. A much different update from a report that came out earlier this week that was proven to be incorrect. And John Lynch pretty much reiterated the incorrectness of that report. Incorrectness, is that a word? I don't know. We're going to find out. But essentially, what had occurred is there was a report that mentioned Brandon Aiyuk unfollowed the San Francisco 49ers, scrubbed the 49ers from his page, and wasn't at 49ers practice and hasn't been seen for weeks. And it was an interesting report because Brandon Aiyuk, the Tuesday, I believe, prior to this report, John Lynch mentioned that he is looking out the window, he's watching Brandon Aiyuk working, and all of that stuff. And then obviously, I pointed out that Brandon Aiyuk never refollowed the San Francisco 49ers on Instagram. His Instagram has looked identical for months, and he has a link directed straight to the San Francisco 49ers and his profile in his bio on Instagram. So not only did all of those points used in the article be proven incorrect, but also John Lynch came out today and said, yep, I just saw Brandon Aiyuk working out there for 5 minutes. He's getting closer. He's looking really good and ultimately positive. Now, obviously, the 49ers haven't given a definitive timetable for return for Brandon Aiyuk, which is to be expected. Because as we've seen with all of these injuries and all of these different types of things, we know that, let's say, if they were to give a timetable for return and set a date, fans, media, just cling on to that. And if there's a setback or if they get pushed a week, it always comes back to blow up in the 49ers face. So I totally understand. I get it. I if I'm John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, I wouldn't put a timetable on this either. I would just let it play out, and just when you're about a week or two out, maybe start dropping little hints, and then let everyone know, like when we're 100% sure when he is going to return, then we will tell you when he will return. So I totally understand that element of it. But again, just a crazy situation, because obviously that report that was put out caused quite a stir. Especially on the back of the Fred Warner injury and the loss to the Tampa Bay Bucks. It just seemed ill-timed and ill-advised to put out something like that with not having, honestly, a single duck in a row in regards to the whole thing. Every point that was mentioned was proven to be wrong or false, and today kind of John Lynch reiterated those things, right? Because it was the social media thing that was proven incorrect, and then John Lynch reiterated for the second week in a row that Brandon Aiyuk is out here working. So, and we all know that media is only granted about a 15-minute window of I don't even know if it's individual drills. It might be, I think it's warm-ups and individual drills. So who knows, when BA is out there and when he's not. So it was just an interesting situation. Obviously, a lot of fans got really upset with BA once that report had dropped. A lot of not only 49ers accounts shared it, but the NFL accounts, like the big NFL aggregator accounts, JPA, all those guys, they all reposted it. So again, it caught fire very quickly, and it's just an unfortunate situation for a guy like BA who's just minding his own business. Nothing has changed. His profile and all of that stuff has looked the same, hasn't changed. He unfollowed the 49ers like a year and a half ago, and he never followed them back. He isn't posting on social media. I even talked to a source close to the situation, says Brandon Aiyuk's not even on Instagram right now. And so it's just an unfortunate situation. And again, I think highlights why it's important when you're reporting on these players' names, why you got to get it right, because their name is their brand, their name is their reputation, and it's really easy to see how a situation like this, you can tarnish someone's reputation and flip the perspective and perception of an entire fan base just by saying, oh, he unfollowed this account, he scrubbed this, he's he's not our practice, and again, all of those things have proven to be untrue, and it just highlights the need to be right on things. Obviously, vetting things is very important. I'm a firm believer in vetting, and I'm not even a journalist. I'm just a guy who talks about the San Francisco 49ers, but if I get information, which happens quite often, I don't put it out unless I double triple check it. It's not worth being wrong, and going through those things. It's not. So again, just I think obviously it highlights the need to be accurate, especially as a professional, and being a well-respected member of the media. It's just really important to be accurate, be right, because as you guys know, I'm a big fan of the players. I'm a big fan of what they stand for, and I know how much work they put into this, and I know how they I at least have a glimpse inside of how they have to deal with these things, and what it might have an impact on their mental. So it's like, I feel for them. I feel for a fan base turning on a player who was once beloved by everyone. We all know BA was at one point arguably like top 5 on everyone's, every 49er fan's favorite player list. Obviously that changed after a lot of things happened, that he was responsible for or was a part of, leading into those negotiations, and it is what it is. But I mean, let's not pour gasoline on the fire for no reason when there's absolutely no reason to, unless there is a reason to. But again, that opens up a whole nother can of worms and conversation that, again, no one needs. It doesn't provide a benefit for really anyone to spin something like that or say those things openly. So just an interesting situation and how it all played out. But I would say that this is the end of the loop. This is the end of the story. We all know that BA is not even on social media right now, and he's in the building every day working on his rehab and getting right. So that's how it goes. But let me know what you think about all this and this whole situation, what John Lynch had to say. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.